You have people listening from every corner of this planet. No knowledge has been dispersed so beautifully, so balanced across the planet, on this planet ever. Maybe in the universe. You have the full potential of achieving everything in the universe. There is no need and there is no reason for magnetology. So, wherever you are, the way I taught you to make the coils, double coil inside, you have continuous equal gravitational magnetic field, and if you put CO2 on it, and you put zinc on it, you have connected the emotion of the man to it on a stable condition, and you'll find out you become a very peaceful man. Here, instead of having galaxies and universes and creating connection magnetically, we have used the matter state gravitational magnetic.
We lost sound, Rick.
The nanotechnology, the nanomaterial which you have collectively developed in different ways, by caustic, by electric currents, by whatever, fire or whatever, has that advantage that the matter, the nano and the plasma is all the same. So connection is very solid, it's very strong. The power of the plasma technology, the way we have thought, is beyond imagination of the man.
Would you like to be one of the first humans in space using plasma technology? The Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute is now taking applications for the Man-Originated Zone Habitation and Nutrition Training Program, or MOJAN. The goal of MOJAN is to teach trainees how to create and utilize to prepare them to become peoples of space. Matter propulsion technology. Today on Earth, we use inefficient and costly rocket propulsion technology, which burns fuels to overcome the magnetic gravitational fields of the planet to go to space. We power our rockets, our cars, and our homes by burning matter to release the energy that we convert from one form to another in order to create motion and usable energy. As well, to achieve objectives, rockets, for example, have to carry large and heavy payloads of fuel, which means that they're payload dependent. Matter propulsion technology is very destructive, inefficient, polluting, and wasteful. Now, let's look at the new alternative, plasma technology. Plasma technology uses the properties of the entirety of plasma to create motion, lift, and energy without destroying the characteristics of matter. The system utilizes magnetic and gravitational field interaction to attain positioning and motion. Nothing is burned, there is no waste, and no pollution is created. Plasma technology is efficient and not destructive. Current human scientific achievement is the result of a progressive evolution in science and technology over thousands of years. Plasma technology is the next step in that evolution. It's viable and it's here today. You could be one of the first humans in space using plasma technology. Apply today to the MOJAN training program. The Universal Council invites you to attend the One Planet, One Nation, One Race event in Rome on the 9th and 10th of September 2016. The Council looks forward to open interaction with the public at the event. Come interact with the Council in your spoken language. The Council encourages you to bring your positive suggestions and solutions to the table on how humanity can move forward as a whole towards everlasting peace. In this way, the work of the members of the Council will become the work of humanity for humanity. The full package price for a single ticket to the event includes 3-night stay in one of Rome's prestigious hotels, daily attendance to the event, as well as breakfast on the 9th through the 11th, and lunch and tea on the 9th and 10th. Accommodations for this package is based on double occupancy. The full package price for 2 tickets to the event includes 3-night stay in a twin-bed room in one of Rome's prestigious hotels, daily attendance to the event, as well as breakfast on the 9th through the 11th, and lunch and tea on the 9th and 10th. Additional night stay are offered at €150 per person per night. For those who wish to arrange their own accommodations and who plan on attending a single day of the event, the cost will be €200, which includes tea and lunch on the day of the event. For those who wish to arrange their own accommodations and who plan on attending both days of the event, the cost will be €400, which includes tea and lunch on the day of the event. The One Planet, One Nation, One Race event in Rome. Come share your positive solutions on how we can work together to bring everlasting peace to our world.
To cover today. So without further ado, as I said before, let's get into it here. Hello, Mr. Kesh. We're not hearing you, so I think we have to unmute you here.
No, it was unmuted. I think he turned his mic off. Just try it again.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Ah, yes, very good. Thank
Yes,
you.
okay, you muted yourself, then I had to mute it myself to find out what you're doing. So it's good, no problem. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you as usual, whenever you listen to these international teachings. The international teaching finishes next Tuesday afternoon. Next Tuesday is our last international meeting on Tuesdays. We go back only on Thursday morning, international teaching. And Tuesday afternoons become part of the space and military teaching for governments and space agencies. These are the details which we'll go through with them. A number of agencies are invited, and it's a closed session, secure, like more secure than the doctors. And in the process, we think, and the way we see it, we'll outside the Keshe Foundation in testing to achieve levitation of a cardboard box. Now we bring in the totality of the knowledge on Thursday. Thursday is an open day for the spaceship technology. Anybody welcome from any nationality, language. We already had a discussion about it this morning, and we will show how you can start in a very simple way, achieve lift and motion yourselves. We guide you through it. There are a number of people who are working on different directions to achieve it. Hopefully, we will have a system that has been taken about 2 or 3 weeks to build, ready for demonstration, or at least showing the basics of it. There are a couple of other tests going around with the Keshe Foundation team, and in so many ways, we will share the knowledge as a blueprint. Technology will be available. We'll open it to how you will develop it yourself from now on. Because what you will see It brings the total integration of all the knowledges which we have shared with each other in the past 2-3 years, and before that in different type of teachings and development. It is important that all of you who come to this point sign yourself, and the people you invite to sign themselves into the World Peace Treaty Act. We gave the governments till July of this year to start the process. Now, on Thursday morning, we will explain the whole process from A to Z. Thursday morning session is in two halves, as we have to separate the two parts of the Keshe. On the back of it, we have seen a lot of development, a lot of changes. Together, those of you who've been around us, around the foundation, around the work of the foundation, you all will see the way you followed the building of the course, the building of the course, the making of the GANs, the making of the health system, the making of the MAGRA systems. All this in next week will come together. As I said, next Tuesday, hopefully, we'll close the first international meeting. And from then on, we only participate on Thursday mornings in adding to knowledge.
Well, Paul,
White one, but what I have done, I use color, same color like this. I put it in the guns, CO2 guns, and you can see the flower you have on the right one. I use white color in the CO2, and what I have done, I will have used it because Mr. Keshe is talking every time about the field interaction. So I want to use the field interaction of the different color to get another color. So to let the plant change his structure to give us another results. As this morning Mr. Keshe was saying, interaction and results. So I try to use it, the red one on this flower who is in the middle, and the white one who is in the middle. And after 15 days, I see that the color of this flower have changed in the color that I have put in the guns. And here on the matter state, right one have changed and want to become white one. You can see on this flower who is on the right one. So the interaction of the different field that Mr. Keshe are teaching us is effective with the plants. We can use the different interaction of the field to change anything on the matter states. And this is these results that I have get using guns and different color to change the structure of these plants. So this was what I want to show today.
Yes, you're not going anywhere. Stay there. You started another big Pandora box for people. First of all, the one which is red on the left-hand side, is that the true color of it, or you change the color?
No, what I have sprayed before. I have sprayed the flower, and when I spray on the flower, after when he come the day to give the flower, so he give this flower. So it was not give the flower before I use it, the red one.
Mm-hmm. So you, by spraying a CO2 on it, you allowed it to give flowers. You decided when to give the flower.
I decide the color of the flower because this flower naturally is the white one. Yeah, the red one. naturally this plant, this flower is giving white color. So I use gans and color when the plant was small and not give the flower, and I have sprayed gans with this color that I have mixed.
So
And every
your
time
gans,
I am saying,
your gans was in red color. You sprayed the plant with the red gans, and this is the color you got.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
white one,
The white one, I put the white color in the CO2 gans. And you can see on the leaf of this flower at the right, you can see it, the leaf starts change and want to become white one.
so you change one to the white and one to the red by spraying the color of gans in it.
Yeah.
Did you spray
And
it
I
on
do
the
it
plant? Did you spray it on the plant?
Yeah,
or
I
did you
spray.
it- Yeah?
No, I spray on the plant 7 days.
Every day.
Yeah, every day, 7 days. And when I see the flowers start giving flower, so I stop spray, because I don't want to let when the flower will come to get something that I can get confusing, that the color I am spraying on the floor will give us this color. So I stop when I see this small flower is coming. I stop, and
So you have decided the color of the plants.
Yeah, I decide the color of the plant.
Okay. So for the people who listen to you and what we see, if you are growing any plants, choose any color you like. You can make black roses. You can make what do you call it, purple apples. With it, can we know from the people who work if this is possible and how? Scientifically, we can explain it. It's very easy. The gans is the same mixture, the same structure as the inside the body of the plant. So when the plant takes the gans energy from the liquid, the water, is like a virus. It's attached to it, and it'll dictate the color. This is a clear indication of what the knowledge or the technology can offer. So what would it be interesting, very, very interesting, is if we do what we talked about, people with a skin problem, different color skin, if they add what we learned from the Iranian doctors in Tehran, add the color of the boiler aubergine, the skin of it, and put it on their skin to come. Now, if we add that to the GAN CO2 and we spray it on the body, would the body change color too? Would this have the same application? Paul, you come out every time with different things and you started new controversy. You already done enough in past 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kesh.
It is fantastic.
Some people are wondering what the material is that was creating the color. What's the was it a dye or some sort of coloration material? What made the red color, for example, and the white color?
The red color is the flower. Inside we have the seed of this flower. So if you can see there is something downside. So if you take it and plant again, you will get another plant. So inside of this flower have the seed of the flower.
No, Paul. What Rick is asking is that what color? What did you choose? What color? Was it natural color, or is it synthetic color, or is it the color from another plant?
I go and buy
CO2.
Yeah, I go and buy somewhere they are selling color on powder. So I think it will be synthetic color.
Yeah, is it a natural color from another plant, from another herb?
I am not sure because they are selling it in mass. So they are selling ton and tons. So if it is natural one, I don't think that they will get this quantity.
Where do you get the white one from? What is the white one from?
I don't. They are selling it in one shop. So I buy it in one shop.
Can you go back to the shop and find out what is in it?
Yeah, I will go and ask information.
I received the email you sent me. I'll respond back to you with it, Paul.
Okay.
The structure you chose the flower. So if you buy a black color, you would have black flowers. If you buy a what do you call it? The orange will be orange. So we can put the same plant with different colors as we need. But what is the question? Why or how come the other plant, everything is white, on this plant only the flowers are red?
I say the flower we get in the middle. I put on the guns the red color and I spray on the plants with this color. The plant we get at the right side, I put the white color and spray with the guns with the white color. So the plant we get on the right side, he is not giving the flower. So only just we use it for decoration in front of the house. So that is why interaction of the field have changed the leaf of these plants. It means that if he is going to give the flower like the red one, we will get also the white result like the red one. Only just because he don't give the flower, so we just use the interaction of the fields. The guns have changed the structure of the plant and the leaf if what we can get like the results that this
Do we have anybody in our audience who is expert in plants?
I will go at our university to search. We have one department for the plants, so I will go and search one expert and see what we can do.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much. This opens a lot of doors, like the way you did with the cancer and other materials you brought Enlighten us. Join me on Thursday. I think you'll be adding a lot more, Paul.
Okay, I will do. If Mr. Rick can go, if he pass, he go, next step, you can see the white color, the white flower, you can see it.
Yeah. It looks like a Christmas tree with snow on it.
Yeah. Next step, just after this picture, you can get the third one, the third picture.
Is that the one you mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
no
the
problem.
third.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is beautiful. People in the flower shows now they have a field day. You can show colors man never seen before as flowers. Flower business is very good now. You can make it any color you like. It takes years to achieve germination of new plants, and in a simple stroke you have changed everything. It'll be very nice if we can take this a step further with the doctors, because this has huge applications in the medicine I can think of, let alone in agriculture.
Mr. Cash, I was thinking that if you can take the grain of the plants and we put it in the guns, like I have put not spray on the plant one, it will start coming out. I think we can get the same result, but I think I have to make experience and see.
Please do, and let's see if it is, or we can ask the others to test this and come back and we'll see what we can learn from it, how far we can further add to the knowledge. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you indeed. Thanks for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
indeed.
thank you.
We meet you in, what do you call it, in Ghana in October.
Okay, I will be
Thank
then.
you very much. Please, you
Thank
don't have a passport, to start asking for a passport to move. Thank you very much indeed. We have a couple of pictures from Douglas. Is Douglas online? Can you see Douglas? Douglas, Rick, I'll send you a couple of pictures of marrows and cucumbers. Would you like to share
yes,
those
let me
with us?
get that.
Douglas then can explain. Douglas, could you explain to us what we're going to see, how you done it, and what is the result you got?
Yes, sir, Mr. Cash. Be more than glad to. Good morning.
Very slow, Douglas. Don't go too fast.
Yes, sir, Mr. Cash. The pictures that are about to be presented are from a garden that I started indoors earlier this winter using CO2 GANS water and controlled soil and tap water conditions. And then have, when the weather warmed up, had the ability to move them outside and have been taking care of them outside and continuing to water one with CO2 GANS once a week around the base of the plant. Just the water, not the GANS itself. 25 milliliters once a week around the plant. And on the left, you can see the CO2 cucumbers, and on the right are just the regular tap water cucumbers. We've had a very dry spring, so I have had to actually water with the faucet out there on the plants. So some of the CO2 plants did get some residual water from watering the other cucumbers, but you can see the huge difference in the two comparable. Those are 12-inch ceramic tiles that the cucumbers are sitting on, and those are Blakemore Burkless cucumbers. These are organic seeds that I started a couple years ago that I have saved and started out in the building earlier this year with some cabbage, lettuce, and cantaloupe, and squash, and a few other things. You can go on to the next picture, Rick, if you like. These are the squash, and here in the United States, you call them yellow crooked neck squash. On the left, you can see the ones that are in the CO2, and the ones on the right that were regular tap water and what rainwater we've got. Same conditions, same parameters. 25 milliliters at the base of the plants. And here in a few moments, you're going to see the plants, and you're going to be able to see the difference in the size of the plants. And you'll notice that the smaller squash plants are in the lower corner of my yard. So whatever runoff, excess water or anything would have went to them, and they still came out smaller. This is just absolutely amazing. And I've even had the neighbors comment about the size of fruit that I have yielded thus far, this early in the spring. Well, summer now, I mean. You can go ahead, Rick.
Was there another picture? Or did you have something you wanted to show there?
Oh, I didn't know how many he loaded. I have a couple of them.
I've only got the two. Can you do a screen share of your pictures?
Give me just a second, and I can pull up the plants for you real fast. And I will let's see here. That way you can see how the garden's pitched and all that.
Okay, I'll stop my share and then you can share.
It'll burn now. I think that's it, right?
Yes, good, perfect.
All right, now this is the one in the far corner of these two right here that you can see visible in front of you are the yellow crooked neck squash. This is the far corner of my garden, which is the lowest part of the garden. This is where all the runoff goes. Up above them are the CO2 Gants, watermelons, and the cantaloupes, which, wow, they're doing wonderful. We'll have an update with them shortly, coming up soon also. In this next picture, you're going to see, this makes me laugh. I'm sorry, guys. These are the CO2 Gants squash plants. They're enormous. And you can see how my yard naturally has that decline towards the other two plants. So naturally, they would get more of any rainwater, of any watering that I have done. And I didn't water these two, near as well as I did the others, because these two seem to be just doing fine on their own. You can see the lettuce that has also been used with the CO2 Gants is tall as those squash plants right there, right in the right. That's red romaine seeding out that I'm fixing to harvest the seeds on. I have had wonderful, I'm truly blessed with the production I've had. I've been able to give a lot of this stuff away to my neighbors. We've not been able to eat all of this, so it's been truly a blessing. I mean, those plants are just absolutely gorgeous. They're beautiful, and they're like quadruple the size of the other ones. And I have, like I said, give the other ones quite a bit more attention. You can see here another picture of them. They're overtaking the corn that's in the front row of them, and just towering over the corn stalks. But I thought I'd show them so you could have an idea of the size of the plants that went along with those cucumbers and squash. And like I said, all I did, I transferred them outside. They went through a couple weeks of transitional shock. And slow growth. They didn't move very well, but after that, they took right off. And the same thing with the watermelons and the cucumbers. And there's another in the background. You can see the red romaine being as tall as this plant. And some of y'all will remember I had the red romaine inside in the drip feed system on the CO2. And those are really big. That's just one plant too, believe it or not, of lettuce that has laid down on the ground and spread out and came all the way back up. That is one huge plant of lettuce right there. One plant.
Douglas, could you mention your feeding system again? What did you? How did you feed the plants?
Earlier this spring, when we presented this in the agricultural workshop, I had it indoors because it was inclement conditions here. You can't grow in the winter where we live. So these plants have to have warmer conditions, at least 70 degrees in the soil. So it was late in the spring here before we could ever set them outside. So I had them indoors in CO2 nano-coated copper tubing inside of another tubing, and was getting filtered through that. And so it was just being watered by energized CO2 water. That was nothing more. And the other ones were just watered with tap water. They've been in that same condition all along and all the way through. Now, when I moved them outside, naturally, both of them got Mother Nature's rain. I couldn't keep the rain off the other plants, but they both had the same amount of rain. And the other ones have had more water because they have been in, you can tell that they're not growing near as healthy. So I've had to give them a little extra love and tender care just to keep them up and producing, which I thought was really strange because, like I said, the runoff goes to that part of the garden, and you would think naturally that there would be more nutrients, more water, more everything right there in that one spot, but that's not the case compared to the CO2 Gants. I mean, the CO2 Gants clearly shows you that even in a condition that's not as appropriate as the other one, it makes its own condition and takes advantage of it. And you know, like I said, it's funny. My neighbors have stopped and said, "Wow, they've never seen a squash plant that tall." And me and my wife just we kind of.
Do you have any other fruit to show us? Apparently, you're making a lot of melons.
Yes, Mr. Kesha, they're coming up. We have tons of baby melons right now. It's unbelievable. They're hiding out there everywhere, and right now they're about the size of a baseball. And we have an unbelievable amount. We're truly blessed with the melons. And the cantaloupe I started from earlier this year also. The one in the soil and the one with the CO2. And so far, the one in the CO2 is the only one that's produced any fruit at all. The one that we use tap water on hasn't produced a piece of fruit yet. So,
there is another side of the whole structure. It'll be interesting to see for those of you who test with CO2. What about if you add a small amount of CH3 into the process? That all of you only concentrate on CO2, but if you test CH3 added to CO2, the composite cans, do not use copper oxide. You most probably destroy your plant, or it'll be interesting to see which plants respond better to copper oxide. The process is very simple. The process is you create an environment. If you look at the structure of these plants, you have changed the environment with the water. It's not just that the plant receives the energy of the cans, but as we talked in other teachings, you change the environment of the garden in where the plant feel, they want, and they receive. It's the way we wish. We wish to have something. We create a condition that the wish comes true. Plants don't have arms and legs, but if you create a condition for them comfort, they create their own tent. They expand and they grow to it. In so many ways, we see this in jungles. The limitation comes not by what it is, but what environmental fields are created by other plants, which gives them restriction to grow in. In the jungles, in woodlands, we see certain trees grow and nothing else grows because the field strength of the tree dictates the environment, which is good for itself, but not good for the others. It's not that it goes with us, we go and take the things out of our way that we don't want. We don't like furniture, we move it. We don't like a neighbor, we build a wall on it. Plants don't do that, but they create a field which for the others to grow in it is not comfortable. So that's why they don't grow. You move it and the condition changes. We've seen this in the First World War. It was puzzling to a lot of people that nobody has seen poppies for some long time in the fields of the Flanders in the First World War. But after the war, because of the chemicals, the whatever was used, suddenly the fields were covered with poppies, red blood, and that's what they call it, the blood of the soldiers which fell. That's why, if you look at the British on the 11th of November, they always carry a poppy, red poppy, because they grew. We changed the environment, and they grew after so many decades out of nowhere on lands where whatever was used to blow things up, to kill or whatever, it created a new environment. Now with the gas, you do the same thing. You change the environment. A plant can only grow into an environment as is allowed to. Or you change the environment that it grows in that environment. It has a bigger field. you reduce the gravitational field, you increase the magnetical, the plant grows taller. It's the growth of plants, the growth of the structure of what I call vertical people is very much dictated, like human being, by where and what condition it created. You have given it CO2, CO2 has changed the environment, so it means there is less gravitational field attachment to this area, so they grow into the field of it. It's more or less shielding. But at the same time, the material which is in the gas, it creates a condition which brings nutrition. Because the gas water is CO2, amino acid is NOCH. The plants live off the structure of the amino acid, which is under the skin, because that's how they absorb energy. They transfer the energy to themselves. So with the existence of the two elements, one is oxygen and one carbon, attracting nitrogen and oxygen and hydrogen to them as a, in a way, amino acid is like the CO2 box you made. So in a way, they receive enough energy for transfer, and they water plant themselves, they nourish themselves, and this is the reason why we see huge growth with vegetation, with the CO2. Because it's part of the equation, it's part of the structure. You change, first of all, the fields. What will be very interesting when you finish with this plant, if you uproot it, when you pull it out, look at the root structure and look at the root structure of the plants which they had water. We've seen it with the Chinese. Most probably, can I have the white screen, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Cash. I'll stop you.
Most probably, what we will see is what we've seen with our Chinese plant has had on a seed for a while, and then don't put the gas water for a while, and then water the gas water to the plant, the one which is already soaked in the CO2 or not, and see the growth. Is Benjamin online? Do we see Benjamin from Ghana? Is he there? No?
I don't see him.
Don't
Don't
see.
see him. Hopefully he'll be with us tomorrow in the agriculture. In Ghana, in the Spaceship Institute and the students of the university, they have started the full process of seed program. As part of the Keshe Foundation Ghana, they started yesterday. I received a bunch of pictures where they are putting it in the containers to see if this soaked, how much is soaked, how long, and what will be the effect of agriculture that can be implemented in Ghana very rapidly for product of the what they call food chain that can make the nation independent. They have started it. There's I think about 7 or 10 of them, and we extend this now into South Sri Lankan University and into Kenya with Dr. Gota. The agriculture is becoming and will be the backbone of the application of technology to make Africa food self-sufficient. And then we will test in desert condition, hopefully in a very short time, to see if and how we can grow seed in desert or in a dry condition that Sub-Sahara can become fertile again, using the gas in the short term, that it creates its own food. It's very interesting what is coming up with agriculture in what I call, if we don't look at the growth of the plant, but look at the psychology of the growth of the plant, how it sees itself and how it uses. And then after soaking, watering with them soup. The application and the implication of these kind of mixtures is huge. It's unbelievable if we start explaining what it can be done. As I said, we have finished with teaching. We all know what to do. What will be interesting is, for example, if we add the amino acid if we add that plus CO2 plus CH3, these are all gas waters, plus ZNO. This be given to the plant, and then we feed the animals with the foliage. What would be the effect of production of vegetation, which we control? Emotionally, we affect them. Amino acid-wise, we affect them, and we give them to the animals. Or us, as a human being, consume it. By adding the gas of zinc, do we make vegetation? We've seen with our doctors, and we've seen with other people who bring agriculture in. What happens if we satisfy through food chain the need of the man on the emotional side? Then what happens? Caroline is not here. Some of you have seen what Caroline has posted on the internet regarding the food we eat with the ganses. Do we need to eat the fruit? Do we need to eat the animal? Or do we transfer the energy of it? We make a condition that it changes everything in the structure which we have seen. These are the factors. These are the factors. CO2 is communication environmental condition. This is the growth condition. This is the emotional condition. This is the connection between the plants and the man. It uses the same amino acid, a direct blueprint of the spaceship. But what about in deep space? You want to explain to your child, your grandchild, your great-grandchild, what the banana tasted, how it looked. You don't carry a banana with you. Because you carry the emotion of the banana, you carry the feeling and understanding of banana, you can recreate it that the child sees and feels the banana. You want to explain to a man from planet Zeus, we have something on earth called the banana. You imagine, you restricted your understanding to the apple and the orange. You remember, all of you have done this. A lot of you have done this. You made the cup, as we said many times, you put the amino acid, you put CO2, you put the gas, you put the orange, and you transfer the energy of the orange we talked many times about. One thing you did not realize, everything here you put as entities are more emotion, they have more understanding of the environment, and as it's in their DNA and RNA, they transfer it to us when we eat it. These are the extent that man will come to respect the others. Do we need to consume where there is an emotion involved? Or were you just interested in the taste of the orange, feel of the orange, and the energy of the orange? But it has amino acid in it. It's alive. It has emotion and it can transfer it. Did we pick it up by shaking the tree and drop it on the floor? Or did the farmer pick it with a tender hand and he rubbed and cleaned it and put it in the box and how you serve it? There, I pick it up, I eat it and it's mine. But why do plants which you go and buy what you call bio, non-chemical, all biological, all done, hand-grown, no chemicals, taste good, they are better, because you have to understand the guy who picked it up. He carries the amino acid in his hand. He carries his emotion. He respects the food because it's not mass-produced and picked up. It's handled, most of these, one by one. And you've seen how we treat them. We have started in a way respecting the fruit, the plant, and the emotion. And this carries to the fruit, and when you eat it, you feel good. It's not just it's been done without it. It means we have understood, we have respected the emotion and the product which has given us. Man is too passive. Man has become too passive to understand this. And now we see it. How much, if you give a gas of CO2 and you just do it because you want to see results, or you give a gas of CO2 and say what a beautiful flower you'll be when you pick it up, when you look at it, you don't need to talk to it, you carry your emotion to it because you know what you're doing to give it a better freedom, to have an environment, to grow what it likes. You've seen the size of it. It gives you what you want to please you. You are the new bird. You are the new way. You help me, you satisfy my need, my emotion. I give you what satisfies you, more fruit. This is what a lot of you are going to be shocked with. Zinc oxide or any other thing like CH3 and zinc oxide plus CO2 plus the amino acid of the air to our cows, to the sheep. Would we get a different type of animal? Yes, we will do. Would we get a new type of animals which are much calmer, that are in a way will grow in a different way? You've seen it with the plants. You think it's going to be any different than the human race or with others? The understanding of the technology of the plasma now is coming home to roost in a way that a lot of you will come to understand. You have to respect the totality of the environment the way our ancestors did. Do we need to system of the plants as we do with the animals? Or do the animals have a different neurosystem connection? They do, some they don't. So when you start, now that you have come to be able to do, in a coming week, you will understand more that even this is obsolete, even this is obsolete. In next few days, you will see how I will revolutionize the whole world of science. How, be it the medicine, be it application of the food, you don't need even to be near the food, you can reach it. The whole world will create homogeneous according to the environment. All the apples will be 10 times bigger or whatever you want to do with it. Because in a coming time, in next week or two, we open the true world of science of the plasma, and then we produce so much food that a man does not need to harvest by pieces and then destroy it to control it. A lot of you who will start this process of using the GANs and the new technology in respect which brings down the GMO, genetically modified seed, will not exist in the next few months. If you understand what to do in the next few days and understand how to apply it, GMO becomes a history. It will be something man did wrong to himself some times ago. Because through the structures you set up, you reach without actually watering the condition that the plants would like to be in it itself to grow to its maximum capability. Join us on Thursday. I start opening the door to a new dimension in plasma physics, in creation of both matter and field. Then you understand this very, very quickly. Look at what you have in hand. You have GANs of matter state. You have the GANs of a life. A true entity which makes decision to exist. The plasma technology will change your lives in the next few weeks and months beyond you can ever imagine. We show you how. We bring it onto the front in the way you can do it. Does not need mass production. All it needs understanding of how to make it possible for everything to exist the way you want it.
Mr. Kesh, there's a note from Jackie in the chat. He says, Rick, I have a great advancement on feeding to show.
Yes, I know. I was waiting for him. I've seen the pictures. He's working on feeding himself. Let him come on, because I've been following his work in what is set up. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Mr. Kesh. Hi, Mr. Rick.
Hi, Jackie.
We are all ears. Teach us, please.
Do you want to share your screen, or what do you want to do there? Okay.
I just want to share my screen here. I have made the translation because it's more easy. So with what Paul showed last week, you know, I just make different research of what the body needs to have all the elements. And you have the 8 essential amino acids, you have the omega-3, 6, 12, sugar, fiber, vitamin A, B1, B2, B3, B5, 6, 8, 9, 12. You have the vitamin C, D, E, K, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, selenium, phosphorus, sodium, chromium, copper, manganese, iodine, silicon. And I try to find some basic elements, totally natural, that fit with this idea. And with 4 natural elements, you have the totality of what you are looking for. If you make some research, you have, if you take some moringa, you take some spirulina, then hemp and lentils, you have the approximately the full spectrum of what you are looking for. And I just add some different olive oil, coconut, little bit of sugar, little bit of piment, lemon to augment, to get stronger the nano coating of the elements. And with all these elements, you have the total mean of this kind of element. And when you mix all with your CO2, your CH3 to dynamize, and a little bit of CO to keep this liquid, only that, and you mix on the mixer to get the stronger field of the CO2 and the different liquid plasma, you get something like that. You know, at the bottom you have all the energy, at the top you have, sorry, we don't see the, I won't share again the picture. Here you have all the amino acid, all the fiber, all the amino acid, all the structure, and here you have all the energy, all the gains of this kind of things. Here you have the bridge, you have the separation with the
Excuse
liquid.
me, Jackie, can you explain to us what's in this bottle?
Yeah, in this bottle is only the mix of the element I said, I show.
How, from where? Plants, raw
Yeah.
material, what?
I want to show you what I use. Because my concern is to find something that a lot of. Then what I was doing, because in case of emergency, if you don't have anything you can drink because you don't have so much liquid to feed yourself. So what I make, you remember this medical unit, when you put your hand in the middle. But why it's working so well? Because when I have my liquid of this bottle, I put this liquid in a spray and I spray all my coils here, you know. And in 1 hour you can see all the coils, because they are nano coated. They take all the energy, and you can see on the coils they change and they take the energy of all this substance. And now with the plasma batteries, you have a different of potential between 1 and 2. And when you put your hand in the middle, you have the transfer of the energy, and you can feel in your mouth. It's exactly if you eat, you can have the same feeling, and you start feeling something in your stomach, exactly if you release the energy when you eat. And it's feed myself and give me so much energy from so much time. Yesterday I can't sleep until 4 in the morning. I was so full of energy. And you have all the elements, you have all the vitamins, you have all the amino acid, you have all your body's need. And you can have a simple system like this, and you can feed a complete town with that in a few seconds. You just put your hand, and after 2 or 3 seconds, you can feed the energy, and you can see it feed yourself. So that's it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is very easy. By the way, for those of you who know, and those of you who don't know, Jackie has become the head of the education of KFSSI as of this week. And we hopefully see new ways of teaching and understanding and new concepts in the teaching of the knowledge. The whole, what you've shown is the transfer of the information of the energy from what we've done before and what the material can give us. I know a number of you have started, or a number of you already do use GANs of CO2 or GANs of CH. It is very interesting to be able to translate the knowledge in a way that it works and not just with what we see and we think it is there. The translation and transfer of knowledge so easily, it will be very, very difficult at the beginning, but in the coming time, we will find out how most of us can logically think in what to do and the way we want to do it. Is there any other thing we can learn?
It's so much other things, but not for the moment.
How is the growth of your bucket going?
It's wonderful, you know. It's
Have you seen an animal yet?
no, not an animals. I have different setup, and I learn so much because when you start playing with the amino acid, you start playing with the magnesium, with the calcium, with the acid, with the all these elements, you start understanding how life is working. And when you can start creating life and understanding how the life is working, it's opened so much new horizon because you start understanding what you are doing. This is why I can make this liquid, this food system with 4 basic elements, natural elements, because you start understanding that your body needs some amino acids, some minerals, some vitamins, and the interaction. And when you start playing in your bucket, for example, when you put some fat and then you add some other element into this fat, you see that is a total different result that if you put directly into the liquid. And this is how your understanding of the life come bigger and bigger, and then you can start making some miracles, you know, because you start understanding what you are doing. And this is the beauty of what you give to us. You give us our freedom, because we can be free if we doesn't understand. And the people can abuse us so easily if we doesn't understand how things are working. And when you start understanding the work of the life, the creation of the matter, the creation of the energy, it's become beautiful, you know, because you reach again your freedom. You start creating some wonderful things. I make just an experience on the pH level, you know. I make a solution with fruits, vegetables. It's just want to make the translation. It's just to say how simple is your technology. It's chou rouge in French. It's red cabbage. If you take a red cabbage, you cut in small particles, then you just add some boiling water into the red cabbage. You have an acidic pH tester. And then when you have your solution, it's something like this. You know, it's a liquid like this. Then you just add into your container, you add some vinegar, some lemon, some different thing. And so, for example, this is acidic, and this is alkaline. And you can start making some colors. Oh, I want to make some red. And you know what to add to make the red colors. And this is beautiful because you start be able to make what you want. It's so nice, and then you start understanding an acidic environment or a basic environment, and you know how to change this. And you know, if you change something in your bucket, you will have a different reaction, a different kind of life. And this is the beauty of your technology. It's you can test and you can make so much experience to give you the knowledge. So it's beautiful.
Maybe those colors could be used to grow plants, like we saw earlier. They could be the color part of the plant, perhaps.
Perhaps, yes. Exactly. And then you start creating some new matter. It's beautiful. It's I have some yellow like gold, you know.
they use it for the patients for changing the condition, or for the body of the man to find its balance. So these can be used, as we said, and will show more a new dimension into the whole structure of the technology. From now on, we came from matter state. For months, we have shown different kind of gases, different kind of coils and cores. From now on, we go into the deep space technology, which means we will not work with the matter for absorbing and creating conditions. This part, which brings man into space to become part of the space community, is essential for the last bridge between what we are, who we are as mankind, and in how we open the door into space. I start teaching this on Thursday. You know all of it. It's just putting it in a way that you understand how to do it. And a lot of you will try and test it. A lot of you will achieve a lot with it. So the next step, which is up to now has been inertia-based technology, will become gravitational-based technology from this week on. From Thursday we start. Then we create a condition where we have both gravity and inertia together, that we can replicate not only the field of an environment we go to, but we can create the matter state of the environment too. As we said in a lot of teachings in past year, 2 years, Earth has a composite gravitational magnetical field. One is the gravitational field which is created by the plasma of the state of the plasma inside the core of the Earth, and the addition is what is converted to matter, that they create their own gravitational magnetic field according to the state of their matter state, which we call inertia. All the flight systems up to now man has created, any levitation is limited to only of inertia of the planet. Now we go into the magnetical and inertia together. And we see the maglev systems that can deliver technology where not only you create the gravitational magnetic field of the destination planet, but you create the structure of the planet too, which means what just Jackie showed and what we've seen with others. You create the matter state of it. And then your body condition is something which is there. The Keshe Foundation receives many offers from different organizations for different parts of the technology. We have received while they are there that they spend more time in interacting and delivering the technology than making it and building it. Contact the Keshe Foundation. You can go through any kind of supports we have. You can go through doctors at Keshe Foundation. You can say, this is the material I have. If it's substantial, we'll ship it through TNT on the cost of the Keshe Foundation. Or if you want to ship it, we allow you. We give you the direction where to ship goods. In so many ways, we control everything before it leaves, that we know exactly where and what is going to be shipped. So we are looking for Indian Keshe Foundation supporters to be able to support ground when he arrives. The people you made cancers, you made other things. In Bangalore, we'll be there from the 19th, 20th of this month for 4 weeks. The more materials we have available that the team can be able, with their expertise, to deliver to the public in the area, the better we'll have the total evaluation of the technology. More than everything else, which opportunity, we would like to thank the Italian connection, which originally has put us in touch with the Qatar officials in that way, which are working, because it is important. By this, we opens up the next step of the technology into the Middle East. We'll explain to it once the trials are over. We were approached and we've been offered the opportunity, we accepted. At the same time, if you are from Italy or you want to spend some time in Italy, we have 20,000 square meters of land that you can test and try in Italy for next 1, 2, 3 years. There is no time limit on it, is there? For the use of the land, the 20,000 square. No, it's as long as you want. You can plan it possibly of 10,000 hectares. Yes, this is another opportunity which is now on the table with the Italian people, meeting them tomorrow, Monday. There is an opportunity to test what you call normal, what you call agricultural products, biological products. The organization has approached us, the Foundation Italy, making available 10,000 hectares of land for crops. And they achieved it last week. And so we have to go into explaining it as it's been our ethos. When a group reaches development, then we add to it. And this is the position which we have. So if you're an agriculturist or you want to test any kind of effects of seeds and the growth, get in touch with agriculture@keshefoundation.com or Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And then it's for Giovanni here in Italy to allocate time whenever you want to farm on the land. You have 10,000 square, it's about, how much is it from the systems? We start looking into the solar system structure in Italy now that they can prove that the MAGRAF system can increase the production. Scientifically, it's been valued. I've heard the report that how the MAGRAF system can increase the production of the, what do you call it? Pardon? 30% minimum increase in power production in the MAGRAF, with the use of MAGRAF system for solar system, what do you call it, farming. So in a plant which makes 1 million, making 1.3 million with the spending very little is a big difference. That's why we do not withdraw the MAGRAF systems from the market. We keep them because there is a lot of people who are still using them, and there is a lot of application to it. If you have a MAGRAF system, if you build yourself a MAGRAF system, do not stop purchasing the MAGRAF system because they have different application than the generator, because in the time to come, the MAGRAF systems will deliver things and the conditions which the generators cannot do. As we said, by September of this year, we will release the generators, and then you can see how the process will change a lot of it. We're getting a lot of orders on the back of the generators. We respect, as we said, by September delivery, but understand MAGRAF systems delivers different properties, different application, different condition than just producing energy. Are there anything else we can add to the knowledge? Rick.
Don't have anything else directly lined up here. Is there any other panelists that have something to offer right now? Or a viewer that we don't know of yet?
Or if you have any questions.
Who is that?
Yeah, this is Paul.
Oh, hi,
Yeah,
Paul.
Paul.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Kesh, I have made some experience about the entities of universe that last time you have shown us to use the package, transparent package, and see in the universe. But I have make it in another way. What I have do? What you have tell us, please?
What have you made?
I try to see the entities in the universe, like you show us how to use the packets like the glass to see the entities in the universe.
Have you made one?
Please?
Have you made a unit?
No, I don't make the unit, but I want to show the way that I have done it.
Okay, share the screen, please.
No, I just want to talk.
Okay.
So
We listen.
what I have done is that you have tell us to use patches, transparent patches. So everything you are teaching us, I am trying to see how we can use the body in the same condition to do that. This is every time when we get the new knowledge from you, what I am trying to do. So I am trying to translate what you are trying to say, to tell us to do with different material to make it with the body, because we have a lot of things that we have to use in the body. So what I have done, I just know that the life for 80% is coming by the mouth and going by anus. So I was thinking that if you can find a way to close at the level of the anus to don't let our energy to go out, so man can find a way to get energy and stay in the stable environment. So what I have done, I try to close from anus side to don't let energy go out. And I try now, before I use the liquid shop that I have made with CO2, with tomatoes, who was the yellow one. So I was bathing with one to purify the body and get more energy. And to add, I have used the body by anus to produce energy. When I constate that at my grand pineal, I was connected at the universe. So I take my right hand and close totally my right eye, and I try to close small the left eye, and I try now to see at the universe. I try to see in the universe, and my intention was, I don't know if it is that or not. My intention was to see Jesus Christ. So I say I want to see Jesus Christ, but what I see first, I see like the sun who was moving, but it was two beings, but it was like sun who was moving in the universe coming to me, and more it was coming approach to me. I considered that it was man, but making by the lights. And when they come, they stop like 10 meters up of me, and you can see they are all light like a sun, and they try to move their hand, who is making by the lights, and dictate the flow of these lights on me. And I think that my energy was not enough to support the energy, and I was thinking that they want to open the canal of communication with me. So when you see the method that I have used, when you try to close the eye, the brown will become like the package transparent that you have teacher to use. So it will be the same, and you have to tell us that the body of the man is in the GANS state. So when you look according to all these realities, we don't need extra GANS to see the entities, but we must need the specific way to close the body to don't lose energy, and use the body to produce energy, so that we will be able to see in the universe and interact with them. So the package transparent, when you close the eye small, you will see that it is almost the package transparent that you have make with the eye brown. But now when you you close small, the energy that you have produced in the body, who is in the body, will try to go by this eye who is small open, and then we can find now the way to see the entities in the universe. This was the way that I have used, and I have considered that they are not using Mr. Kesh spaceship. They are only use their body to move. Now I want at the Tuesday teaching how we can use the body to jump with them in the universe. You have tell us how to convert everything one to another. So I will be very happy to get more information about that, because I want to use my body to jump in the universe like them. They was very nice, very, very, very beautiful, and there was their speed was very, 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 very high.
Let me explain to you, as I explained in the Universal Council meeting with the Germans this week. A lot of you are becoming aware that more and more, as we are pushing with the development of the technology in opening the space, more powerful politicians are opening up a lot of things in respect to the what we call and life beyond this planet. As you know, on the 28th of last month, the head of European government, what we call the head of EU, in a communication has announced that they have been in touch with the people outside this planet, and he has explained it, and then they have changed the translation to heads of the states. Destroying itself, which is blocked, when I say we, is all of us, that we deliver technology and knowledge freely, not just to eat, but to enjoy the pleasure of being able to share that we do something positive. And if we carry on this path, more or less, we are the only group of people. We will see most of you, some of you, which reach the point of the maturity to be able to control the fields within the structure of the brain of the man, which reaches the emotion and the soul of the man. You will start interaction with the universal community as one by one. We build up a stronger relationship, and the opening of the space to man becomes a normal thing. The way we travel across lands from one state to another, from one country to another, from one continent to another, now the time has come for us to travel from one planet to another, and one solar system to another, and one galaxy to the other. The knowledge we have gained here has brought us and changed us from the donkey to the car and to the jet, and now we go into the plasma, the space travel, which needs no crafts. It's us who has to gain the trust of ourselves, that within ourselves we have enough potential, enough energy, enough control, that not only we can travel in the deepest part of the space, but in when we travel, we have trust in ourselves. We can come back to where we want to be, and we can interact with the others. It's the understanding of the technology which will bring the change. Number of world leaders have already, they can explain to you, they have said and they have changed their mind, because man is not ready. But we see a large number of the world leaders are gradually coming to the same direction. Because don't forget, it's the first time an organization wishes to open the space to man for peaceful application. You have all signed into the World Peace Treaty. Your soul is committed. So the strength of the totality of those who committed to world peace by signing themselves into it have started the motion. We have no choice. You, as people who wish for peace, have opened the door for communication and interaction with the universal community. It's very much we are ambassadors of the space for man through our conduct for their own benefit, where on the other hand we show how mankind frees himself from the shackles of control and freedom of the space. This is when Paul speaks about seeing it with eyes, you might say, but go back and read about most of the world leaders. They tell you most of the more powerful men in the governments which they could be trusted with have been put access to, in contact with, and they cannot deliver the peace. So it stays on the table till man can deliver the peace. The world leaders can deliver the peace. And in so many ways, we see that in one or two nations, that they have committed themselves into the peaceful application of humanity and their governments, and we have seen the prosperity in the growth of their nations. On the other hand, is the totality which has to come to be able to open the door to totality, to all the mankind. As I said, would we do it when these governments are not in power, or they destroy themselves through their own act? Or do we carry on with changing the course through the correct conduct across the planet, across this earth of the man? Because it's your wish for peace. You have been given the tools of the peace. You have manufactured it. You have developed it. You call it the GANs, that it grows more. You don't need more. You have a pain. You relieve yourself from the pain, that the energy of the soul is not wasted. In a way, you wish, you sign yourself to peace, and the emotion is set for that peace. Is it the time to deliver the peace? And I have put that to the core team of the Keshe Foundation. Last night in our meeting, it's their decision. It's 11 of them. If the core team decides to take a step to bypass the governments to deliver peace, we shall do on Thursday. Most of you know the core team. They are not a physical one to achieve the state of purity that the Pole has reached, that to open the door to the space and the universal community to be able to see, to understand and to communicate the way your world leaders, the governments are explaining one by one. Go across the internet. President Putin, top Chinese leaders, European Commission, head of the European Commission. Most of the South American governments have committed themselves in communication with, and all of them know where the problem sits. We have two choices. We open the door and finish with those who are in one continent and the cause of the 99% of the problems by turning over their hands in how they operate, or at the same time we deliver the technology to be able to open the door to mankind into space. So you're the members of the Keshe Foundation around the world. Millions of you listen to it. Transfer your wishes to the member of the cores of your nation. You all know who we are. The core team is not what we call the Universal Council. The core team is sacrosanct and stays and is being with us. It's a cornerstone of the development of the technology through not the physical but the operation of the Keshe Foundation. It's your intention which will be received by their souls. And then we declare our position on Thursday. We have opened the door to the universal community, and one by one of you, slowly as you reach the state of the promise of your own physicality, with the soul, you will start interacting, and gradually we open up the door. As you know, when you go to a country, you see one person, and then you invite them back, and they invite two of you back, and then whole communication, and then the ambassadorial level starts, because now you start interacting with each other. There's so many of you, you put the rules of conduct of who can come, how you come, and how many of us can go. The same thing will apply to man in respect to universal community and how we conduct ourselves. You are the first ambassadors. Not only you will see in a calm time, you will see it from Thursday onwards, we open the door of the universal community into the mankind. We show you the systems, we show you how you do it, how you transfer yourself across, how you develop the energies that it holds on to your soul and to your physicality, to the physicality of the position you arrive and step on. I started the teaching of this part this morning in the private teaching of the Keshe Foundation. So what comes to what we heard from Paul, what we hear from Jackie, what we hear from world leaders, is the beginning of the opening of the world peace and the opening of the communication between the two sides. The frontiers of this opening is you as member of the Keshe Foundation, and those of who have not even heard of the Keshe Foundation, but they live through the ethos of the Keshe Foundation. Because when you give, when you understand, when you bless any members of the Keshe Foundation supporters, you give part of your soul that enhances them to be able to give more. And in that process, you reach other mankind as well. We understand the process, we have seen the process, how this has been abused, and as we said, we have put termination to the work of these people who are mainly placed in the position of power in certain part of this planet. On Thursday, we opened the hand of the root of the problem, and the families who are involved in this, and the people who are involved in this. And in the second part of the teaching, we open the door, we show the problem which you have, and then we open the door for the solution to terminate the position which has been created by them. The Thursday teaching will be in two sections. First section, we finish with what has been said and what has been become the trend to kill and destroy, and the people who are behind it and the reasons for it. Does not matter if you're a scientist, you're a child, you're a nation. Planning to start wars years ahead by intention is criminal act, and from now on, it's you who will change it. Give your support to the core team. You know who they are. The core team of the Keshe Foundation is sacrosanct, and it will stay the same because they're committed with their souls, not with their physicality, for the change of humanity. And then, in the second part, we teach you the tools. Every one of you can open the space for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your nation, and for humanity. 100 years ago, if you wanted to go from Europe to America, you had to get on the boat. Days on the water. Planes were invented, jetliners come in, and you travel with shorter time. What is strange to us is, why are you afraid to go from Europe to America in 2 or 3 minutes? Is it that they have put restriction on you to understand the man advantage, and advancement in science has led him to the next step? Or is it that keeping the status quo, killing as many as possible, will give them to have a few free times for the time they're on this planet? And the decision I have put last night to the core team, it has to be the whole 11 members on the table. There has to be an unanimous decision. And if we take that decision, we will change the course on Thursday. Everything is there on the table. When you see it, you'll be shocked. When you see, understand it, you'll understand more. We will change a lot of things It's the decision of the core team to decide which way we do on Thursday. We meet on Thursday before the beginning of the knowledge seekers at 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, the humanity. Thank you very much. Any more we can share, Rick?
Let's see. There was a question that I suppose you can answer quickly, perhaps, about Don asks about regenerating eye disease, and can anything be done about that genetic hereditary involving the rods and cones of the eyes? It's called RP, or retinitis pigmentosa.
A good friend of mine in England years ago became blind because of these kind of conditions. Young man in his early 30s. And we watched him more or less day by day, slowly losing more. I suffer from this same kind of degeneration personally, and as we said, hopefully this week we receive the certification that we can start delivering the materials to the, as per what we call it, delivery of the different cancers for test for eyes. There are two aspects into the eye degeneration and the condition of the degeneration. One is if it is genetic, as we have seen through MG crops. The degeneration, or what is to be what we call genetic, can be from now on handled in a very easy way. Partially through the emotion and partially through understanding of what physically is needed. So when you have an eye problem, you have to, can I have the white screen please? When you have an eye problem, you have to consider in how has led to what it is at that point. You have an eye. Through your eyes, you see the world. I'm not a very good artist. It should be like this. What does the eye do? It transfers matter state to the emotion of the man, to the physicality of the man, and what the man will show with what he sees. Do we want to see more of murder and abuse? No. Will we have a choice in it? No. I would like to be blind. Eyes shall not see. As I've said many times, shame to be born in the skin of the man, to be so abusive and continuous with what he does. So your eye has to be treated in 3 different ways. You can use the gans of CO2 for connection between physicality and the emotion. You can use the water of the gans of that what you see through the emotion of the sight can satisfy to elevate the soul of the man that needs support. You need to give energy to reproduction of the cells that they want to support the change in both. So you need a CH3. Some, as you know, I always give by percentage, by part per 10, maybe 4 to 5 drops of CO2, 1 drop of zinc oxide. There is a need for the growth, maybe 2 drops, somewhere here between 2 and 1. But you have to understand this is to do with a vision and how you have placed the change in yourself genetically. I do not want to see. I make myself blind. So it has come maybe in your ancestors, in your past generation, they have seen such a horrors that they did not want to see. Their wish was, I wish I was dead that I could not see this. So genetically, what you do, you blind yourself to the reality. I wish I was blind not to see whatever. And it becomes part of your inherent DNA or RNA, the wishes of the man conversion. But there is a physical part into the eye. The eye has muscles which positions it. Eye has muscles which brings focus. It retracts. So in that process, if partially you have sorted the emotion, but already the muscles have repositioned and retracted or added to themselves, you need a very little amount of CO2 to support the physical muscles too. Maybe half a drop or 1 drop. 1 drop is too much. So you support the communication, you support the emotion, you support the growth in a way the energy needed for conversion, you support the carriers of the eye. When you deal with any part of the human body for change, you have to consider all aspects. The emotional, the physical, the line of communication. Does it need a support? If you have eye cancer, you don't touch the CH3 because that's growth, that's energy. If you're growing a plant and you want it to grow higher or better, you consider CH3. The other thing is, may consider a little bit of the amino acid, a little bit of the amino acid from CO2, not where you made the copper oxide. As I explained in the teachings of the past few weeks, the amino acid on each container is slightly different. If you have, when you do the test, your eye, and you feel weakness in one muscle of the eye that is not pulling or whatever, you add a half a drop of amino acid from the copper oxide, because that amino acid is in mass connection with the muscle tissue. You want to support neural system damage. Somebody who's got a cut finger, somebody who's damaged their nerves. In the Parkinson's, you use amino acid you created from the zinc. Every amino acid is connection between it and the physicality. When you use it as a water in different aspects for growth or whatever, it's different. But when you target for application, you target, you lock it, you find the efficiency and effectiveness very rapidly. What you use for the eye as a gas of copper oxide is not needed by the brain. So it'll be there. If it's no need, it'll be there, no need. If it is, it has to be considered. So if you are looking at degeneration of the eye, then you're looking at the causes of it. If you're looking at the connection of the muscle tissue damage, you have to consider every aspect. These are the things which I teach in the medical side and the doctors, that they understand how to balance the patients in the application. So eye degeneration, because I suffer from this. I tested it. I could not see about 2 months ago properly. I used the CO2 on its own for about 10 days. The sight changed. And a couple of days ago, I said to Caroline, I want to change something in it because now I need to go to the next development. Because what it could be done with CO2 has been done. Now the muscle is weak, the emotion and the generation is needed. So in the next few days, I will test something new. We are just doing it that it can be done the correct way. I can see better. I don't have the pressure which I had on my eye for nearly 10 years. It's all gone. I can read from a distance, which was an impossibility. But sometimes it gets worse. I don't see at all. But most of the time, I don't have the problem. Why do I need the zinc with oxide? Because I've been fed up looking at the man killing itself for a long time, and I prefer not to see. So my body responds to what I did not want to see. Has the development of technology with the work of the Keshe Foundation supporters in what we see the opening of the door to Universal Council has satisfied the emotion is to be seen. Do I need the eye to see where I can see the soul of the man? So if you have an eye degeneration, this is one of the ways. One of the ways, but you have to look at every angle. You see, everything is supported. Any other question?
I don't see too much else other than the old recurring question about what about there is no globe Earth, instead perhaps we live on a flat Earth with no stars or universe, what NASA sells us. What about a truth Earth like in the Bible?
Yeah, the first man who said the earth was round, they hung him on the church. And I've been there, I've seen the church. Where is it? St. Peter, isn't it? The church where they hung the guy from which said the earth is round. Been there. It's a church in Pisa, isn't it? Pisa. Where they hung the first man who said the earth is round. So, bello, no. Fine. I tell you one thing. If the universe is flat and the earth is not round, I would like you to fly together from here, let's say from Rome to New York on different altitudes or parallel line. If you arrive to New York at the same time, it means it's flat because it's a flat line. If you arrive in different time through the curvature, it has a different meaning. So it's very simple. You don't need NASA to lie to you. Maybe they lie to you about the, what they call it, going to the moon, but I don't think the Earth is flat. I haven't fallen off the edge yet. So we'll leave that to your, it's a very good story making, but it needs a little bit of common sense. I've traveled around the world. I've never fallen off the edge of the Earth yet. So when I find the edge, maybe it is flat. We don't need to fall off it. But what is interesting is you see on the flights, especially when you go to America or Canada, the flight goes as much across to the north part of this piece of paper flat line, and then it flies across and you have a whole daylight. You don't see any nighttime. You travel the whole time. If at the same time you travel at the bottom of the flat line, it's all dark nighttime. I've done both of it. And you understand, if it makes you happy to say Earth is flat, it is flat, but it needs going back a few centuries, or it's just because NASA says it's not flat. What about your own common sense? It's very easy, try it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. I'm not seeing any other immediate questions.
We are nearly 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Please, we have finished for today. Please understand, on Thursday, we open and close some books and we start some new books for humanity. And if the core team decides, we'll take action according to the decision, because they make a decision for humanity through their soul, and then we see the next step. It might be a revolution, but it'll be a revolution in the science. That will force revolution in the common man's life. If the decision goes that way by the core team on Thursday, we will carry on Monday with the total teaching and following up till one of you or some of you, as we did with the Magrav system, achieves lift, motion, or anything else creating fields. Because from then on, it should be very, very easy. Everything is there, all the knowledge is with you. So we meet on Thursday to start the process of taking man into space. We do it collectively as one group, as one team, and our wishes, our soul wishes, will become the wishes of the humanity, and you will see how we will change. Thank you very much for today. And we meet you, if you are an agriculture team, tomorrow morning. If you are in the medical team, teaching tomorrow afternoon. And if you are a knowledge seeker, we meet you Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much indeed for today.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh. Okay, at the end of the 22nd International Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Tuesday, July 5th, 2016. And as always, thank you everybody for attending, and thanks you especially to the people that are presenting things today. And okay, we'll end the live stream. And we'll end the meeting for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.